So if you think small, you're gonna live small. If you think hopeless, you're gonna live hopeless. If you think insecure, you're gonna live insecure. If you think fear, you're gonna live in fear. And if you think timid, you're gonna live timid. But what happens when you shift your perspective and shift your mind and you start to think big? Then you live big. If I think hopeful, then I'll live hopeful. If I think confident, then I'll live confident. If I think faith, then I'll live by faith. If I think thrive, well, I'll live to thrive. And I think some of us here are not living to thrive, we're just living to survive. To just get through the year. To just get through the term. To just get through exams. But the problem with that is that we're not living to thrive. We're living to just get through. And that's because we're thinking about just getting through. If the way you think, if the way you think, then you have to think about the root. Because your results is just the surface level. Underneath your results is your actions. Underneath your actions are your emotions. And underneath your emotions are your thoughts. See, a lot of us, we see our results and we just go about our lives operating from the surface level, the results. Most of us, we can go underneath that and look at our actions that led to our results. A few of us look at our emotions that influence our actions, that influence our results. A very small handful of us actually touch on the root, which is the thought. There's a world of wisdom, a world of knowledge, a world of wealth inside of you, and yet you're selling yourself short. To thrive starts with the mind, and I had to change my mindset to understand how I can make it through. And I had to ask, is what I'm believing growing me or burying me? So here's a question I want to ask you. Who told you you're not good enough and why you still believe in them? Who told you you can't make it and why you still believe in them? Who told you you can only get this certain grade and why you still believe in them? And it could be the voices of your family. It could be the voices of your friends. It could be the voices of social media. But it's time to understand that there is a voice that grows you and there is a voice that buries you. I repeat, there is a voice that grows you. There's a voice that builds you up. There is a voice that uplifts you. And there is a voice that keeps you down, that keeps you stagnant, that keeps you trapped. And we need to understand the voices that we listen to. See, there's a lot of information in this world, and our thoughts are influenced by words and pictures, what we see and what we hear. And this information gets injected into us, and therefore it impacts the way we live because it's impacting the way we think. You might not understand the impact that music is having on you. So if I was to sing, "Twinkle, twinkle, little star," I wonder what you are. Brilliant. It means no worries for the rest of our days. It's all problem-free philosophy. Brilliant. So you guys know these songs. But when was the last time you actually listened to Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star? When was the last time you actually watched The Lion King? But somehow, the songs are still in your system. You still have the feelings of the song. You still have the energy of the songs. And without you knowing, those songs are actually impacting the way you think and therefore impacting the way you live. As of today, everybody is going to delete Instagram. As of today, everybody is going to delete TikTok. We need to actually distill the voices that we listen to. Look through your playlists, the songs, the lyrics. So you have to understand, if you want to go to the places that you want to go, what is the voice that's leading you there? If you want to be the person you want to be, what voice is leading you there? If you want to do what you want to do, what voice is leading you there? And the thing about pursuit is that you have to clarify the vision to stay on mission. You have to clarify the vision to stay on mission. So it's all well and good saying that I want to be the next top baller. I want to be the next businessman. I want to go to this university. But have you actually generated the images of yourself in that football kit? Have you actually generated the images of yourself in that office? Have you actually generated the images of yourself in that university? Because you have to take it out of the fantasy and make it into a reality. So you have to go beyond the words. You have to go beyond saying, I'm good enough. You have to go beyond saying, I have what it takes, but you actually have to see it. Because in order to receive it, you first have to perceive it. Because you don't just arrive at your next level, you have to study for it. You don't just arrive at your next level, you have to prepare for it. So wisdom is analyzing who else has gone in the journey that I want to go. And you have to tap in with that person. You have to connect with that person. Whether that be following them on Instagram, whether that be following them on X, whether that be following them on LinkedIn. And if they don't have an Instagram, check if they have a podcast. Check if they've done interviews. If they don't have a podcast, check if they have books. Study. Study to arrive at that next level, because you don't just get there. Because we think discipline is do more work, study hard. But discipline is about pursuing the best version of yourself. Discipline is about pursuing that future version of yourself. The future version of yourself that's more secure. The future version of yourself that's kind. The future version of yourself that has integrity. The future version of yourself that you know is a leader, that you know is a boss. And to pursue that future version of yourself, you have to heal. You have to understand what you've gone through. You can't avoid it. And I was definitely trying to avoid the pain. I was definitely trying to avoid the trauma. I was definitely trying to avoid the healing. We don't call ourselves human doings, we call ourselves human beings. So you have to understand the way you're wired up, what triggers you, what gets you down. And that's where you get systems. Because once you understand the way you're wired up, you realize that, hang on a second, I'm not the same as you. You're not the same as me. What works for you might not work for me. Because some of us, we're just trying to copy what we think is working, but without understanding ourselves, it's not going to work. You have to understand the way you're wired up, understand what works for you, because you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. A system is what keeps you steady. A system is what keeps you in the game, because motivation is unreliable. Some days you feel like it, some days you just don't. And that's the honest fact. But a system, no matter how you feel, no matter whether it's sunny, whether it's raining, you know that because the system is working for you and not against you, that you could keep going. You could trust the process of the system. It's like going to the gym. The more I lift weights, the more I will get stronger, because there's a system to it. What is this? Wisdom. What is this? Discipline. Now, respond is about how you show up. How you show up the very next day. How you show up as that future self, because tomorrow is the future. Respond is understanding that in defining moments, you don't choose who you are, you reveal who you are. Because respond is intentional. Respond is a choice. There's a difference between responding and reacting. And in this life, we like to react. We like to react to a notification. We like to react to a like on Instagram. We like to react to a comment on TikTok. Because to respond, it means you're willing to pause. To respond, it means you're willing to assess. To respond, it means you're willing to see the situation and actually take time to understand what you need to do next to get to where you want to go. I'm not going to chase the value. I'm going to believe in the value that I have. And a lot of us are trying to chase the value, chase the validation, chase the like, but there is value inside of you. There is value, great value inside of you. So what happens if I bring the actor, the model, the singer all together as one package? I'm tired of breaking down. It's time for me to break through. I'm tired of giving up. It's time for me to rise up. It's not just about being a light, it's about shining bright. What it is that you're after leaves clues. What it is that you're after leaves clues. So don't give up on your dreams. Don't give up on your aspirations. You can be exactly who you want to be if you keep thriving, if you keep pursuing, and if you keep responding.